Today we're headed to Whitehall, New York, the Bigfoot capital of New York. Join us as we look at the sites that put Whitehall on the map. Coming up next. Whitehall is a town located in Washington County, New York, and as of the 2020 census had a population of just over 4,000 people. It's situated in the eastern part of the state near the border with Vermont. Whitehall is often referred to as the birthplace of the U.S. Navy due to its historical connection to the American Revolutionary War and the construction of ships used in their war effort. The town has a rich history dating back to colonial times and has played a significant role in the development of the United States. It's known for its scenic beauty and is situated on the shores of Lake Champlain and surrounded by the Adirondack Mountains. In the 1970s, a rash of Bigfoot sightings and mysterious Bigfoot prints began to happen, culminating what has become known as the incident at Bear, where off-duty police officer Brian Goslin pulled his sidearm on a tall, large, hairy biped, but the creature walked off into the darkness without threat. This earned it another title, the Bigfoot capital of New York, and sightings exist to this day. Whitehall is also a popular destination for outdoor enthusiasts, offering opportunities for boating, fishing, hiking, and other recreational activities. Lake Champlain provides a picturesque backdrop for many of these activities. Overall, Whitehall is a small town with a big historical significance and natural beauty, making it an interesting place for both history buffs and those looking to enjoy the outdoors, especially Bigfoot. We're at the Skeene Valley Country Club, where in May of 1975, Cliff Sparks, the owner of the club, the late Cliff Sparks, had a sighting on the first green about 11:30 p.m. at night. And he described it as tall, lumbering, kind of clumsy, did not have your typical gait of a human being. It kind of had a different knee-foot relationship when it lumbered off. And he called it kind of sloth-like. He said it had very piercing, red, glowing eyes. I don't know if that was eye shine or he thought they kind of almost projected, but that was his interpretation as he saw it. And that was in May of 1975. Like I said, a very respected business owner in the community at the time, owner of the Skeene Valley Country Club and Golf Course. So here we are on Winters Road in Whitehall, New York. And a lot of people think that the incident started with Cliff Sparks in 1975, but actually in February of 1974, really the first Whitehall area Bigfoot on the New York side was sighted here as a man was spending some time with his girlfriend, and he had spotted a creature silhouetted in the snow and described it as being very large, bipedal, all the nines. But that happened here on Winters Road. Now, conversely, in 2006, this is the same road where the 5 people had the sightings in a half hour, 2 separate encounters. First, there was a group of 3 girls, and then there was 2 gentlemen. And they had this sighting over a period of a half hour where the limb was dropped in front. Check out Squatch stories for that particular encounter. But that occurred here on this road as well in 2006. But again, this is where the New York sightings all began, at least the first reported one that we have on record, 1974. So this section of Route 4 in the town of Whitehall, New York, going into the town of Hampton, New York, which is the last town before Vermont, is famous for its Bigfoot roadside crossings and or people seeing the creature walking alongside the road and then darting into the forest as they pass by. Of course, It's also the home of the Red Apple Diner, the last great place to get eats before leaving New York State. Or, if you're coming from Vermont, the very first place to get eats in New York State. Hey folks, if you like what you've seen so far, please consider smashing that like button. It sure helps us with the algorithm, and we rather appreciate it. And we thank you all for swinging by and watching this video. At the end of this program, please stay tuned for a very special message. Now back to the show. So behind me is Carver's Falls Road, and in 1976, September of 1976, a man by the name of Frank McFarland from Granville, New York, very close by community, claimed to have actually taken some shots at a Bigfoot that was coming towards him. He used a shotgun, and he said he also fired several .22 rounds at the creature. The police responded, and they did find the shotgun shell. But they didn't find any other evidence. But he did go to the police department and report it personally that this happened. And this is the area where it happened back in September of 1976. So behind me, the field behind me is the field where Brian Goslin, the police officer, had the sighting in August of 1976. Pulled his weapon on it, had a flashlight on it, kind of looked at him, turned around, looked at him, and walked off into that ridge line back there, as you can see behind me, into the wooded area back there. Really great area. It is so quiet, desolate. Funny thing is I met the homeowner across the road. Great guy. Was telling me that, he's skeptical, but every once in a while, they're looking out in the backyard and they have quite a bunch of property. Of course, I'm not going to show it, but every once in a while they get the feeling of being watched, which is very interesting because a lot of Bigfoot witnesses will say that before they have an encounter. But just a tremendous area here. There used to be a telephone pole out in the middle of that field, which is where they had the height sign. That no longer exists. And actually, you can see now there's some crops growing in the field. That's the first time I've seen that, really, since I've been up here. But yeah, so this is the epicenter. This is the one that made the really big news at the time. And but you go up and down Abear Road here, and there are sightings throughout Abear Road and off Abear Road and very close by. And then behind us is East Bay, and there are sightings down there. You go further to the east, and then there's Carver's Falls, the actual falls itself, not Carver's Falls Road, where there is a ton of activity, tracks found. Actually, there was an incident where several law enforcement agencies actually saw it from a distance. And so, I mean, you're talking law enforcement seeing it on more than just one occasion, on several occasions. And Paul's older brother was Wilford Goslin, who was a police sergeant, and him and another guy, they ended up casting tracks in remote areas around the Pulteney River, Carver's Falls, and just a tremendous area here. And this is why Whitehall is the Bigfoot capital of New York. So here we are, that behind me is East Bay, and East Bay is where a lot of the track finds were found by the police sergeant, Wilford Goslin, and another gentleman by the name of Martin Paddock.
who was his kind of research partner in this whole thing, leading up, again, culminating to that A-Bear Road incident. Really, just look at this area. It is so remote. You can probably hear the crickets on the mic, even though this is a lapel mic. But anyway, over on the other side is Vermont. So again, this is an area that I very heavily research as well. But just a nice evergreen area, really quiet, not a peep out here except crickets.
As I leave Whitehall, I often wonder what is the next big adventure that's going to bring me back here. And I am so blessed to have this area in my focus. And really, it's what spawned my involvement in the Bigfoot research world. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for swinging by and watching this video. And please, again, consider smashing that thumbs up button and like button. It really helps us with the algorithm, and we really appreciate y'all being here. And please stay tuned for that special message. Until next time, this is your old pal, the Squatch Detective. Keep on squatching. Hey folks, I want you to consider joining the channel as a member. It's a great way to support great Bigfoot research and an honest channel out there. And it starts at only 99 cents. And already we've announced the 2 new shows we're putting on there. Plus you're going to get a lot more, and you're going to see me uncensored as well. So anyway, folks, consider it, think about it. You have 3 levels. The highest level is only $4 a month to become a channel sponsor. So a lot of great perks. Check it out. We'll catch you all later.